What's up? It's Philip Randolph, and on 10 Minutes to Vent today, we're going to be talking about spankings, butt whoopings. Yeah, all of that. So make sure you tag a friend, family member, co-worker, and let them know that we're talking about discipline our children. Do you still believe in butt whoopings? Welcome back to 10 Minutes to Vent. It's Philip Randolph, and at any time of the podcast, feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below. There's no right or wrong answer, but y'all didn't come here to hear me ramble. We came here to talk about butt whoopings. Do you still believe in butt whoopings as a parent? Do you still believe in butt whoopings, spankings, whippings, whatever you want to call it, as an auntie, uncle, guardian, grandparent? Do you still believe in it, or are you one of those new age grandparents, parents that feels like it's not necessary? I really would like to hear your opinion on this topic. It's a controversial topic, so this is something that everybody can partake of. I'm a parent. My son is 10 years old. At the end of the day, I'm old school. I still believe in butt whoopings, but it has to be reasonable and it has to make sense. I don't believe in abuse. I definitely don't believe in abuse. I believe in giving grace to my son, to a child, but I don't believe in disrespect. And I believe whenever disrespect starts coming, warnings have been issued. A butt whooping is on its way. And the problem I have with parents, right, especially my generation, the millennials, we talk about, oh, I don't believe in butt whoopings. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. But we encourage our kids to fight another kid if they bully them. So we're not going to whoop our children, right? We're not going to whoop our children, but we're going to tell our children to beat another kid until they purple, blue, and yellow if they're being picked at. Make it make sense to me. Why are we telling our children to beat up that kid? Why? Because they're messing with them. They're doing something over and over and over again to our child, which in return, we want our kids to retaliate. Why? So that kid won't mess with that kid again. But it's okay for your child to disrespect you over and over and over again without any type of physical punishment, right? No, now I can understand taking something materialistic from your child to teach them a lesson, but sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you have to get physical, and that's how we learn. We learn through pain and suffering. uh, I remember my first fight. It was in pre-K. There was a little kid that was always bothering me. I'm talking about pushing me, hit me upside the head and everything. I used to go home, tell my dad and everything. My dad would tell me, well, look, if it continues to happen, you're just going to have to unleash the wrath. And I didn't know what the wrath was until later on. But he was telling me, you don't let a little kid hit you. You just got to hit him back. So the very next day, the kid kept bothering me, and we was on the swing set. And he had punched me in my mouth. I started bleeding, and I scratched him on the face and pushed him off the slide, and he fell to the ground, and I think he broke his wrist or something like that, and I got suspended from PK for a day. Make a long story short, the kid never messed with me anymore. Now, maybe I was a little drastic pushing him off the slide, because he definitely could have got hurt way worse than just a broken wrist, but he learned not to mess with me, and he wanted to be my friend after that. And I think we did become good friends after that. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, pain and suffering definitely works. It doesn't just work for children, but it works for grown people as well. Now, contrary to belief, a lot of people say, well, you can't spank your kids anymore. You can't beat your kids anymore. It's against the law. No, the hell it's not. In all 50 states in the USA, spanking your child is legal. As long as it's reasonable, it's legal. No 50 states in the USA has banned whooping your child, beating your child. That's just some type of stigma that we made up as parents. I don't know where we got that from. And even if it was against the law, I would be breaking that law. Because there's no way in God's green earth that I'm doing all this work, I'm paying for all this stuff, and my child disrespect me. And he doesn't learn the physical way. Now, like I said, it has to be reasonable. I don't wake up in the morning wanting to whoop my child. And honestly, anytime that he does get his butt whooped, I don't want to do it, but I know I have to do it. I'm not going to spare the rod. It says in the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child. And it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Like I was saying earlier, we encourage our kids not to get bullied. We do. If your child's getting bullied, what do we say to them? Well, you better whoop. So how can we encourage that behavior, but we're not encouraging respect? And I feel like, and I know this, learning starts at home first. If we start teaching our kids respect, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. And even if you don't want to put the sir and the ma'am with it, okay, I understand. Yes, no, excuse me. Just using manners. I guarantee you our world will tighten up. Because right now there's no respect. The boundary is very thin now. It's very thin. And I think we need to get back to the basics, but I know we need to get back to the basics. The basics is showing accountability, right? We got to show our children accountability. And they have to be accountable for their actions. Now, it's nothing wrong with giving chances. There's nothing wrong with giving chances. There's nothing wrong with giving grace. But if your child is deliberately disobedient, deliberately disrespectful, you need to pull off that belt and whoop they ass. And I would say I apologize for being a little bit rough with the language, but I'm not. You need to whoop their ass. That's what's really going on. Now, I'm not saying that you have to beat them till they blue, purple, green, and yellow. No, I'm not saying that. But if you done gave chance after chance and you don't see no results, it's time for you to go physical. Because that's how a person learns. That's how a person learns. People learn that way. Now, of course, this is a very controversial podcast. Some people's going to agree with me. Some people's not going to agree with me. And like I said prior, I don't believe in abuse. I don't. I believe in grace. I believe in giving chances. But we definitely have to teach our children the right thing, because if not, we're sending them out in the world and they can fail. In worst case scenario, they can die. There's only 3 ways once you get out on your own. I tell this to my son all the time, and I tell this to my little clients all the time, right? You can either get in trouble, you can go to jail, or worst case scenario, you can die. And we don't want that worst case scenario thing to happen, because at the end of the day, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's going through. There's a whole bunch of different stories in this world that people have encountered, from children being abandoned, children being orphans, children being abused, neglected. It's just so many different stories. And you got to understand, a killer don't just turn into a killer. A killer was once a child. And something that happened in that person's childhood has affected that person to the way that he or she has became. So we have to teach. Repetition is the father of learning. The more you keep repeating, the more you keep doing something over and over and over and over and over again, you start getting accustomed to. Now, I'm not saying that you got to beat your child every single day. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the last resort. You done said something over and over and over again. They still playing with you. Well, it's time to get a little physical. I'm one of those parents. I really believe in talking. I love talking. I love coming to a conclusion. I love having lectures. I love giving conversations. I love having a talk with my son because I want to know what he's thinking. It's important for me as a father, as a parent, to know what my son is thinking, what he has on his mind. But I feel like we as parents, especially millennials, that's what I'm talking to. I'm talking to all parents, but I feel like we are spoiling them rotten. We're not showing them accountability. And they have to be accountable for their actions. All right? There's no bad grades in my house. There's no C's or D's in my house. If so, no computer, no game, no TV. Point blank, period. My son, he wants to be drippy. He wants to have sauce. He want to have swag. He want to dress good. Well, that's cool. I'll get you all the shoes that you really want. All you have to do is clean them. If you don't clean them, you're not getting any of that. And my son, he showed me he don't want to have any nice shoes right now. Why? Because every pair of shoes that I've been getting him, he has dirtied them up. So now he's on a $40 limit. And I'm not in a rush to get him any shoes. It's showing him accountability. If he wants that narrative to change, he's going to have to start what? Cleaning his shoes. And that's just an example, a true example. What are we doing as parents to make our kids accountable for their actions? Because let's be honest, we're raising the next doctor. We're raising the next lawyer, dentist, or we could be raising the next criminal. I'm not being a father to raise a criminal. I'm raising my son so he can be better than myself. Okay? So, like I said, do you believe in butt whoopings? Let's really think about that, and let's consider bringing them back, because they're not illegal. Spanking your child is not illegal in none of the 50 states here in the U.S. So let's cut the crap, let's cut all of that, and let's really start teaching our kids and disciplining our kids when it's needed. Okay? Children are the future. They are the future. So let's raise them correctly. Let's start bringing back that village. And stop being afraid of your children. Let's just start talking. Let's take away the technology from them. And let's start having a sit down. Let's start sitting down at the table and having conversations. So, like I said, leave your comments below. There's no right or wrong answer. I would definitely love to hear what you feel about this topic today. Should we bring back butt whoopings? Because as far as my house, they never left. Okay? So, it's Philip Randolph. It's been 10 minutes to vent, and we've been talking about butt whoopings today, bringing back butt whoopings today. Let me know what you feel about this. Until the next podcast, guys, I'm out.